Hello, legends and super legends. Eldred here. Welcome to Velo Harmony. I'm trying a new angle today. I got some suggestions, very good suggestions from John Bailey, one of our new legends, and he was wondering why I was using such a low angle. I use the low angle a lot of times when I'm on the bike showing stuff, or if I'm doing some unboxing. I've been using the angle to show where things are coming from. I didn't want to just reach down out of camera range and get stuff. But when I made the video yesterday about the one that we're talking about, what really makes you tired, um, as I was editing, I saw the angle was very extreme. Kind of the camera was from a low angle pointing up, which is fine. But when he pointed that out, I let him know that, yeah, I kind of thought about that. So this is a new angle I'm trying, and I think it's going to work. There was another legend that also suggested, uh, you know, videography and photography standards. I had taken classes on that, but it didn't emphasize that. So after he mentioned that, I went and I read up on it, and he was spot on. There are certain framing techniques that you use to keep the audience from being distracted. And it was really important. So I'm beginning to incorporate these ideas. So I want to thank both of you. I don't remember the other legend's name. I remember John's because he's been commenting on a bunch of videos lately. He's one of our new legends. But the other guy, you know yourself, he basically said that he was familiar with photography and videography standards, and he suggested how to frame the pictures if you're showing, like half of your body or just your shoulder and so forth and so on. So I want to thank all of you that made those suggestions, because my goal here is to continually improve everything. I spent a lot of time early on getting up to speed on how the professionals make these videos. I took a lot of classes, but the information is only as good as the teacher and the text. So I followed that up with a lot of self-education online. So I do my own production, and that's why I'm able to turn these videos around, because I'm not waiting on someone else. So because of my IT background, that has come in very handy. I do everything, my thumbnails, everything. And I've been making a lot of changes to the channel. We have hit 1,000 subscribers. And I, like I've said, when we hit 200, I didn't realize at that time they were significant. And then I went online because legends came on the site and congratulated me for reaching 200. John Bailey was the one that recently just said, congratulations on reaching 1,000 subscribers. Well, before I saw his congratulations, I went online and I had been reading up. And apparently it is a big deal, because I've hit this in about 5.5 months. And for a lot of people, some people, it takes a lot longer. But once you get to 1,000, supposedly, you're promoted differently. But basically what it confirms, and I read an article by a professional that said that anybody can get from 0 to 100 if they stick with it. Okay, he said, but once you get to 1,000, what it means is they're not just your friends watching your content now. You have content that's good enough to where people actually are taking the time to watch it. So in other words, you're the real deal. You have enough quality in the content to where you have a village, and I'm quoting the article. You have a village of people watching the video. So I want to thank all of you guys, all you subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you. I welcome all the ideas, the suggestions, and so forth, because I'm pretty new to YouTube, but I'm not new to cycling. And I've ramped up my knowledge about the YouTube world and videography and how they do things in Hollywood. I have invested in the same kind of software they use in Hollywood to make movies. And that's why I'm able to produce these videos in a timely manner, because it takes a lot of time if you have crappy equipment and crappy production software, or if you're waiting for someone else to do it for you. Not everybody that does stuff on YouTube knows how to edit, and I'm sure you've seen some content out there where you wonder, like, why did they just load the video? I mean, the intent is great, but I did not want to do that. I did not want to just load a video, everything. So I clean it up, I edit, I tell the story. I don't really take out a whole lot. I don't use a script. I basically research whatever topic if I'm not super comfortable with it, and I just come like I said before, I'm having a conversation now with a village of cyclists That's phenomenal. We have 1,000 people here, guys, in our community. So welcome. Now, what I wanted to add to this 1,000 video, I found a site because I'm constantly looking at things to find information to help everybody else. I found a site. It might be a little controversial for some people because from what I found from looking at the comments on some of his videos, it's like a love-hate relationship. The site is called The Dark Install, and this is a shout out to him. I think he's somewhere in Asia. I think he's a European that lives in Asia. I'm not really sure. He can confirm in the comments here. He does a lot of writing, and I will put the link to his site in the description there, but I think you guys should check him out. What he does is, I will read his about page to you guys, because I think he's a good resource for all cyclists. The Dark Install, capital TheDarkinstall, all together, The Dark Install. What he says is real world, in-depth, high-end bike component analysis, reviews, and critique. Truth drilling. He says LOLZ. I don't know if that's a typo or not, but he said disturbing visions from the mirror realm. It's a little abstract there, but that's the kind of guy he is. He's an unusual guy. His style is really cool. He doesn't show his face in his videos. He's showing you what he's revealing. So if he's doing a jersey, he cuts out from here and he just shows you the jersey. But he gives you all the details. He doesn't just say, oh, this thing is crappy. He tells you why he believes that either we're being ripped or, and I'm going to get into some of the specifics of why I decided to do a shout out to him in this 1,000 subscriber video. I like Rafa. You guys know that. I like good quality stuff. But I'm a realist, okay? His site, he will take a pair of Rafa, and I'll be specific. He did a Rafa lightweight short. I'm doing this from memory because it's been a while since I saw his video. The Rafa lightweight pro team shorts, because Rafa makes all kinds of shorts. The shorts that I showed you guys were the thermal shorts, the Rafa Pro Team thermal shorts, and then the Rafa regular Pro Team shorts. What he did is he did it on the lightweight Rafa Pro Team short. They do that one supposedly for summer. But the key here is the word pro. Rafa uses pro very frequently in that so-called Pro Team line. His point was, if this is pro, I think he put like 5,000 kilometers on it. Well, the reason why I like his site is, it takes me a year. I ride 10,000 kilometers in a year. That's about 6,000 or 7,000 miles. I'm averaging, okay? I don't ride one short for 6,000, for 10,000 kilometers, or even two shorts for 10,000 kilometers. So in other words, even if I took two of Rafa's shorts and I wore those shorts, washed them and wore them, just the two, it would take me a year to put the miles that he puts on them in a few months. So he must live. That's why I think he's in Asia. I think he's lived somewhere where he rides his bike probably more than he drives his car. I'm guessing he has to, because he has to have the time to put those miles in. That means he rides every day, probably commutes, exercises, whatever. But he puts in a lot of miles. So in about 2 to 3 months or so, I'm just paraphrasing, he'll put the mileage that all of us would put on those shorts, maybe over 2 to 3 years. Because if you have 6, 7 bibs or 3 or 4 bibs, you're not going to wear the same bib all the time. So if you think about it, let's say the average cyclist maybe has 4 or 5 bibs, enough for a week, So let's say 4 bibs. If I rode 10,000 kilometers using 4 of Rafa bibs, that would be about 2,500 kilometers on each bib if I did it meticulously, right? Well, this guy will put 5,000 kilometers on the bib in a short period of time, so that then he comes to and he tells you, look, the people are calling this stuff pro, but it's not really holding up as a pro garment. And he'll show you, he gets a new one and he compares it to the one that has 5,000 kilometers on it. That's why I'm just using that as an example. He will compare, he will show you what has happened to the short over that period of time. And I thought that was really cool because then you begin to see the little seams that come apart. Because I experienced them, but I experienced them maybe in a year and a half. Because that's what you remember in my other video I mentioned, I said when I'm washing my shorts, I check to make sure the seams aren't coming loose. And then, Rafa does repair them. And they do lifetime, which I give them credit because I don't think any other manufacturer is doing that right now. They do lifetime repair. But the point he's making is, if you're going to call this stuff pro, it shouldn't be falling apart in 5,000 kilometers. It shouldn't be loose on my leg in 5,000 kilometers. The new one is nice and snug, fits me like a glove. The one that has 5,000 kilometers, it's messed up. He does the socks. He does the jerseys. One thing I really liked was he did a jersey. I think it was the Rafa Core jersey, I'm guessing, or that may have been the pro team. I may be off on which jersey it was. But the point I'm making is, it turns out that the same jersey made from the same plant or the same factory, just because the color was different, the size was off by up to a centimeter or so. So one of the jerseys fit him real great in that color. He got another color, I think it was pink or something, and it was loose. And I've experienced that. And if you guys mentioned, and remember, I've mentioned it in a lot of my talks about these manufacturers and their jerseys that I said, don't take the tag off, try it on first. That's the headaches we're dealing with. I mean, and he made a joke about wherever they're making it, the person obviously doesn't know how to use a ruler. Because how can you go from one color to another in the same garment, same size, just the color is different, same everything else, and the size is off? That means not only is the person not using the measurement correctly, quality control is lacking. Because someone should be checking these things. You remember, like sometimes you buy shoes, and in there it would say, inspected by blah, 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 inspection okay. It will have a little sticker somewhere in the sole or something like that. They need to do that. If you're going to be selling these jerseys for $180 or, 200 and some pounds or whatever, we expect the sizing to be consistent. So I love that I found his site. And I was just doing some searches. I'm not sure how I stumbled upon it. I was in YouTube. I'm always looking for ways to improve what I bring to you guys. And so I go out there and look for ways to improve how I deliver stuff, how I manage my content and all of that. And I was looking for something and stumbled upon his site in there. I must have been doing a search on high quality shorts or durability of shorts, because his site is great. It's not just clothing, other bicycle components. I mean, I have it pulled up on my phone here, but feel free, go there, check out his site, because the Doc Install, he does cycling socks, jerseys, and I even see cycling components. In other words, if you're thinking about making a major investment in something, it helps to go down there and see if he's done a review on it. Or at least go down there and see, especially those of you who are like what's his name, Cal Burr, who talked about, why is ASOS so much more expensive? I don't know if he's done a review on ASOS. I may have to go and search. But go there and find out, yeah, they're expensive, but how well do they hold up? And I think that's the Doc Install point. He's not covering everything out there. He's covering these high dollar items, and he's showing us that if these guys are going to be selling this stuff for all this kind of money, I expect it to hold up, because I'm not going to quote him, I'm going to paraphrase. One point he made that resonated with me was, he said, Rafa's calling this stuff pro team. Pro team bib shorts or pro team lightweight shorts. And if I put 5,000 kilometers on it and it falls apart, what are the pros doing with it? I mean, let's be real. They're supplying their pro teams with multiple copies of those jerseys. Those guys are not wearing one for 5,000 kilometers, because he's proving that it doesn't hold up. So then they don't need to call it pro. And you guys that have been with the channel long enough know that I wore one of their overshoes that they call Pro Team Rain overshoes, and my feet were completely wet. So needless to say, I wasn't impressed. And to their customer service, kudos, they basically admitted that, look, it's treated with a durable water repellent spray, which comes, it might last maybe 3 to 6 months, depending on how often you wash it. Well, I like keeping my stuff clean. I told him if I'm going to ride in the rain, that's the whole reason I put the shoe cover on. I'm not going to keep it filthy. I wash it. So they said, well, if you wash it frequently, then the repellent does not last. So they sent me a box gratis of a repellent. I think they sell it for maybe $20, I'm guessing. But they sent me a box of that to reapply it, which I've already reapplied, and I saw that it's beating water again. But you know, I think this is a useful site. I think that there are some people that go to the site and they put a lot of negative comments there, but they're being short-sighted. He doesn't dislike Rafa. He doesn't dislike Castelli or anybody else. The point he's making is, don't sell me a pair of shorts for $300 or 400 pounds or whatever, and then in 3 to 5,000 kilometers, it starts sagging. I mean, some of the stuff, the seams were separating. I mean, some of the things that he shows. So you just got to go there and check it out. That's why I'm mentioning his site. I think it's a great resource. Go there. Tell him maybe what you want to see. If he knows about it or if he has it, maybe he can do a review on there. But he did enough to convince me that my style of waiting for things to go on sale is a good idea, because these so-called pro stuff, they're not going to last too long. I mean, to Rafa's defense, I have a pair of shorts. One of you legends asked me how long. I was doing a review of one of the overshoes out in the backyard, and he saw me wearing these Rafa shorts, the Pro Team regular shorts, and they had faded to where the lycra was pretty much light brown. It was not black anymore. I still have it here. It still works. It's just faded. Well, I owned it since 2012, so it was like 4 years old, and I have other bib shorts. So to be real, when you think about it, I didn't really use it that much. Well, the Dark Install has reviews on other shorts and things from Rafa that fade. They're maybe 3 to 4 months old, and he's already put 3,000, 4,000 kilometers on them, and he's showing how the lycra is fading. So he's basically showing that these so-called pro teams are not really pro, because they know. I think they know we're not going to ride it as much as he is, And he does mention that Rafa customer service does replace stuff, but I think his point is we shouldn't have to go through those hassles. So I just wanted to give a shout out to The Dark Install. You guys check out his site. I will put the link below this video here. Check out his site when you get a chance, because I think you should go there and see how these manufacturers in our industry are putting things out, to just basically take our money, and they may not necessarily be as durable as we would like. And so it's good to have a guy like the Dark Install doing these kind of reviews, so that we don't really buy stuff that's just overpriced but won't last. Now, I have to mention this. Nothing lasts forever. Let's be real. I use the information on his site. When he does a review that says, okay, 5,000 kilometers, this is falling apart, that's falling apart, it doesn't turn me off of the Rafa shorts. I don't have the Pro Team lightweight shorts. I have the regular Pro Team, but they're all stitched just like everything else. You guys saw my winter tights. The stitching came out, and I admitted to pulling it, and it ripped when I was pulling it on one day. Those things happen. The biggest thing, though, what it did for me is it confirmed the fact that, okay, I need to continue to stick with Rafa, because even if these things come apart or the seams come apart or whatever, their customer service is so good with the free label they send and all of that. It's not a hassle to just throw it in a FedEx package. It's just a little time. It doesn't cost me money. Drop it, send it back to them. They fix it. They get it back to me. So that means using his site told me that, hey, since most of these things don't really hold up, in a year or two, maybe the seams start coming loose. You want to go with a manufacturer that stands behind the product, that doesn't give you a 90-day warranty and so forth and so on. That's what I use that for. And that's why I'm directing you guys there. Use his site, find out how long these things last. I mean, he putting in 5,000 kilometers on a short, I know it will take me 4 to 5 years or more to do that, because I don't wear one short that much. And I know, like I talked in my other video, there are shorts that I really like. I don't even wear them that much because I don't want them to wear out. So I expect them to wear out. But I think what I got out of his site that confirmed that Rafa was one of the standard bearers in the community is that they all have their issues. So you want manufacturers that stand behind. Like I did the thing on Shimano with their pedals. Shimano for me might as well be painted in gold letters because I will not hesitate to buy any Shimano product. They took care of me, no questions asked. Piece of cake, easy. I mean, I was thrilled. So yeah, um, I hope all the manufacturers end up being like that, but not all of them are like that. Okay, I haven't had any problem. I mean, Saris that makes the Cyclops stuff, they're really good. Every manufacturer that I have called as a consumer related to cycling products, they have stepped up. I think they get it. I think they know that we talk to each other. So that's why I wanted to just mention that. So with this 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to continue to put the content out. I've gotten a better feel for the people in the community of this channel and what they like to hear. There was a guy named Jose Padilla. I hope I got it right. He's one of our legends. He said that, we need knowledge. So I will be doing more how-to videos. I want to do the next thing on how to repair your tires when you're on the road. There are a lot of little things I want to point out that are kind of missed on some of the other videos. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video now, but I want you to just check out his site and stick with manufacturers that have good warranties, regardless of where you bought them from. Because these things, regardless of what the marketing hype is, they're stitched in Bolivia, they're stitched in Peru, Malaysia, Eastern Europe, and different places. They're done by people, and stitchings can come loose. So you want people that will stand behind their products. I had a problem with some shorts that I have from Rafa. I sent them back. They repaired them. No problem. So the faded one, I can't in good conscience try to get Rafa to do anything with the faded ones because I've had it for 4 years. I don't think any manufacturer would stand behind a short after 4 years. I could probably call them and say, oh, can you sell me one at discount? They might do that. But the short, even though it's faded, it's still perfect. I'm not having any problem with the fit or anything. You have to really be careful in how the garment fits your body because I have problems with the different lines that Rafa has. With the Pro Team works for me. The Classic does not that well. I can do the jerseys, but the shorts, the legs were different. So you just have to try these things. But with his site out there, he's testing stuff for us. He's putting the miles in a short period of time so you get a feel. So I just wanted to go ahead and do that for the day. And I'm going to stop here. But no matter what, get out there, ride your bike, get the miles in. Don't let anything stop you.